Hi students, welcome to another video. This one is the 2013 Language Arts Grade 3 Diagnostic Test. It's going to be a quick one. Remember that with the Language Arts, the teacher will have to do some aspect of it with you face to face while you're doing the exam. She will be reading or he will be reading for you to select your answers. Alright, with that, it's only about 2 parts of this paper that I can do in a video for you. I think it's the first aspect of it and part 2. Part 1, I think, is to be done with your teacher in class while you sit in the exam. So let's go. Which word begins with the FR sound? Give me the FR sound. It says fur. So is it frog? Is it form? Or is it flittered? Fur. Which is it? Frog. Good job. Frog. F-R-O-G. Frog. Moving on, number 2. Which word ends with the CH sound? So at the end, are you hearing ch? And these are giveaway. You don't even have to listen for anything. If it says end, ends, you're looking at the end. Where you're seeing it is in this one. So even if you don't know the sound, once you know what it means to end, meaning at the end, so you're looking for the last 2 letters in the word to be CH. It's branch. Alright, not country, not change. Change has it at the front or the start. It says at the end. Moving on, these are simple ones up top. Which word has the same sound as E in tree? So E in tree is a double E. It gives a long E sound. It gives the name of the letter E. So look at it. Shade or shade, shade, new, need. And you're seeing the double E in need. These are pretty simple for you to get. Easy starting out for you to feel comfortable. Which letters give the sound that begins with the word? Let me see the word. Starring. Alright, starring. This is a giveaway. Starring starts with ST. As I told you, these are pretty much giveaways up front. Which word has different middle sound from the word queen? So you're listening for the middle sound in queen is E. Double E as in the long E sound. So listen up, which has a different sound. Feed, mean, keen. Alright, middle sound. Feed, mean, keen. Middle sound. Which one has a different middle sound? Is it fee? You're hearing the E in there. Me. Is it the key? But it says middle sound. Qui, me, key, fee. Alright? I am going to say it's feed. Alright? But if it's a different middle sound, then because you're having, based on the sound, I would pick that, but it's gonna be a mean. Alright? Let's move on. Which word has the same middle sound as the word mouse? So you're listening for the O. I'm not seeing anything here to choose from. Next one. Which word rhymes with day? So which one sounds like day? So would you say daily, day die, day lie? It would be daily. Alright? So daily, lay has the same rhyming sound. Which word rhymes with stone? So is it stone phone, stone home, stone none? Is it phone, home, or none? It would be phone, O-N-E. Alright? Moving on. How many syllables are in the word creature? Creature. That's 2. Creature. How many syllables are in the word observing? Observing. 3. Remember the rule as to how to find it. You can put your hand under your chin as you say the word, or you can clap. Alright, comprehension passage. And this is where your teacher will have to work through with you. And it takes in also number 1. After you would have listened to your teacher, then you have to read and let me see here. For this one, and let's see if you can use it. It says, look at me, all of you. I am going to read a short passage and and I want you to listen very carefully and look at me all the times. I will read the passage 2 times, and when I am finished, you will answer questions 11 to 14 in your booklets. So let's go. Here's the passage. All the creatures that live in the tree were there, dressed up in their finery. Peeny Wally was in charge of lighting. Queen Bee had the honey. Spider was conducting the band. Bullfrog was jumping up and down the stage. Cricket was whistling a sweet tune. Cockroach was rubbing his banjo legs together. Mousy Mouse was squeaking and Grasshopper was hopping to the drum. Let's go again. All the creatures that live on the tree were there, dressed up in their finery. Peeny Wally was in charge of lighting. Queen Bee had the honey. Spider was conducting the band. Bullfrog was jumping up and down the stage. Cricket was whistling a sweet tune. Cockroach was rubbing his banjo legs together. Mousy Mouse was squeaking and Grasshopper was hopping to the drum. And it's by Linda Gambrill, alright, or Gambrill. Let's go. Now answer items or numbers 11 to 14 by circling the letter beside the answer. I will read the question one by one. So your teacher will read the questions and then you will do the selecting of your answer. So here it goes. 11. Which creature was responsible for lighting at the event? And it's clear. Peeny Wally. It says, but always remember to go back to your passage to confirm, right? So it says, let's go. Peeny Wally was in charge of lighting. Moving on. What did Queen Bee supply? Bee honey. But always remember to go back to your passage. What event was taking place? A says it's a meeting, B says it's a church service, and C says it's a party. It's more like a party that was happening, alright? 14. What did all the creatures have in common? A says they were liked to have honey. B says they lived at the same place, and C says they loved to play music. They lived at the same place. They were all in the tree. It says all the creatures of the sea, the tree, so they lived in the same place. All right, part 1. This one your teacher will have to do for you. So let's go down to part, your teacher will have something to read on that. Let's go down to part 2, as I did tell you in the initial now you do these on your own. Which word should be placed on the line for questions 15 to 24? And I'll pause here a minute just to remind you that you're watching Learning with Teacher M, and this is a language arts diagnostic test paper that you will do sample looking like this in your ministry exam coming up. All right, so you can look at this as something, a worksheet, a grade 3 paper walkthrough or overview, a how-to YouTube video which is showing you or helping you to understand how to answer the items. All right, so let's go again. Remember to like, subscribe, share the video, and call a friend over. It says the children lost on the field trip. Is it that the children lost our way, ours way? Number 1, that sounds funny. Could be A. B says the children lost them way. Now for people who talk bad and don't like to use the proper way of speaking and proper English, this could be a throw for you. So you have to learn to speak properly, all right? The children lost their way. They lost their way, not them way. All right? Number 16. We looked for the books. We did not find it for the book. So is it that we looked for the book? A, but we did not find it. B says we looked for the book, so we did not find it. C says we look for the book unless we did not find it. It is but. We looked but we did not find it. Have you ever said, I went to the shop but the shopkeeper was not there? Alright. Number 17. Let go for a ride. Is it let I go for a ride? Let us go for a ride, or let we go for a ride? Let us go for a ride. And I know your teacher would have gone through the different pronouns with you, so you'll know why you choose us and not we. Next, my brother walked home. Is it that my brother walked slow home? B says he walked slowed home, and C says he walked slowly home. C, it's telling you how he walked home. This is an adverb here, so he walked slowly. How did he walk? Slowly. 19, the girl said would bake a cake for the field trip. So is it that the girl said she would bake? B says the girl said us would bake, and C says the girl said them would bake. It is she. The girl said she would bake a cake for the field trip. Good job. Moving on. I'm not going to be calling boys and girls right now because I need to go fast, all right? 20. I am to the games on Saturday. Is it that I am going to the games on Saturday? Or is it that I am go to the games on Saturday? I am goes to the game on Saturday. Now you know it can't be go nor goes. It has to be that I am going to the games on Saturday. All right? If it were I and no am, then you could say I go to the games on Saturday. But because you have the am, I am going. All right? 21. The boys scared of the lizards. So is it that the boys isn't scared of the lizard? The boys wasn't, or the boys weren't? Boys is a plural noun, so it has to take a plural form. All right? Isn't is singular, wasn't is also singular, but boys meaning more than one. Next, mother bought 6 oranges. She gave Julie the one. So if she bought 6, would it be the large one she gave Julie, the largest or the larger? It's comparing more than 3, so it's gonna be largest. So of the 6, she gave her the largest one. Tommy ate his breakfast. His mother got ready for work. Is it that he ate his breakfast because his mother got ready for work? B says he ate his breakfast until his mother got ready for work. And C says he ate his breakfast while his mother got ready for work. It's gonna be while, during the time of her getting ready. Which is a compound word. I would have gone through compound word, grasshopper. So grass can stand alone and have meaning. Hopper can also stand alone and have its own meaning. I know your teachers would have gone through compound words with you. All right, moving on to items 25 to 28, and it's asking you for the correct sentence. All right. A, many people go to church on Sundays. B, many people goes. Right away, many people is more than one, so it can't be goes. C, many people gone to church. It's gonna be A. Many people go to church on Sunday. 26. When will you be leave for work? B. When will you be leaving for work? C. When will you leaves for work? B. When will you be leaving for work? 27. We eaten at the end of the field trip. B. We ate at the end of the field trip. C. We eaten at the end of the field trip. I know you know it's B. We ate at the end of the field trip. 28. Teacher told Stacy to write about either the birds or the insects. Alright? Stacy should write about A. One of them. B. Both of them. C. None of them. Alright? Read again. Teacher told Stacy to write about either. So when you say either or, it means one of. So it's going to be one of them. So she can choose to write about birds or she can choose to write about insects. Either or is one. Neither nor is none. Alright, which punctuation mark should go in place of the asterisk in questions 29 to 31? Are you going to the party? It's a question being asked. So it's question mark. 30. Oh, cried the boy. I am hurt. Oh, cried, it's exclamation, exclaiming, a shout out, all right? 31. Mary went with me to the show. That's just a statement. It's a full stop. Which sentence is correctly punctuated in 32 to 34? A says, we've learned how to take care of wild animals. B says, Eve learned. Eve learned, all right? So we know that's not it. And C is not it either, because when you, the answer is A. Because when you, so you would have we, which is there, and this apostrophe sign is taken off HA, which would make it we have learned. All right. 33. The man's boots are on the ground. This is making the boot the possessor, meaning the boot own the man. All right. And man's, we don't have any standard English word named man's, M-A-N-S. All right. Referring to people. B says the man's boots are on the ground. This one is making the man owning the boots. Boots belonging to the man, all right? C says the man's, meaning more than one, because the apostrophe is outside of the S, so it's saying it's more than one man, but you know more than one is men, so that would be wrong, all right? So the answer is at B, the man's boots. Man owning the boots. Boots belonging to the man. Moving on, it says Tom has a pen, a book, a pencil, and a banana. B, Tom has a pen, a book, a pencil, and a banana. C, Tom has a pen, a book, a pencil, and a banana. It is C, punctuating, listing the items. He had a pen, a book, a pencil, and a banana. Moving on, which word is opposite to the underlined word in questions 35 to 37? So you can see that these are the things they're asking you. If you go back and look at all the instructions, you know, you're going to have punctuation to do. You're going to have opposites to work with. You're going to have syllabication. You're going to be working with, just look at all the instructions. If you go back to the first paper, you're looking for sentence construction. You're going to have these to do. You're going to have part of speech. You're going to have all of these things to do, so you have to know these. All right, I'm going to be doing a listing of all that really comes up on the papers, but so far you're seeing you have opposites, you have parts of speech. All right, let's go. 6 children from the class were absent today. So if you're not absent, then you are present, which is at B, opposite now. All right, John was feeling better, so he was sent home. If it's not better, then he would have been feeling worse if he wasn't feeling better. All right. The rich man lives in a cottage on the hill. If the person is not rich, the person is poor. All right, let's move over to 38. Which word should be placed in the line for questions 38 and 39? I can hear the birds singing. So you're looking at homophones. We're also looking at synonyms and antonyms. So you're looking here now, here. These are words that sound alike, have the same sound, but are spelled differently and have different meaning. So you have three here. Three here is working with. H-A-I-R is at A, H-E-A-R is at B, and H-E-R-E is at C. H-A-I-R has to do with that hair that is on your skin, on your head, on animals and so. Alright, hair. H-E-A-R is what happens with your ears. You hear, C-E-A-R in it. Ears, with your ears, here. And H-E-R-E has to do with position, location, or, you know, calling you. Come here, sit here, look here. Alright, so I can hear. Which one is to do with your ears? It's B. I can hear. 39. We read the story about, or we read the story about the that lived in the woods. So you have three bears working with here. B-E-A-R is at A, B-E-E-R, and B-A-R-E. B-E-A-R is the animal. Alright, B-E-E-R is the drink. Ever hear them say, I want to drink a beer, or he loves to drink beer? And B-A-R-E is without, like you're walking barefoot without shoes. So which one would be living in the woods? It would be the B-E-A-R, the animal. All right, moving on. Which word means the same as the underlined in questions 40 to 42? The old man spoke softly to the children. So same as softly would be quietly. All right, doesn't have to be slow to be soft. Can be going slow and not soft, but if it's softly, it's going to be quietly. All right, 41. Many tall trees are in the park. If it's tall, it's also high. Moving on. Carol weeps every day for her lost doll. If she's weeping for it, she's crying for it. So weeps, cries. Moving on. Read the passage below, then answer questions 43 to 47. Betty's class went on a field trip to observe living things. She was so excited when she observed Mr. Frog as he inhaled and exhaled. Oh my, his back seems as if he has the measles, she exclaimed. The frog hurriedly hopped away to an old rotten log. On her way, she saw a six-sided stone and showed it to Jamie. They quickly left it as they were not observing it that day. She continued on her journey, staring at the flowering hibiscus and the non-flowering ferns. She didn't fail to take keen notice of the green caterpillar eating away at leaves on the banana plant, or the birds hopping from branch to branch of the cocoa tree. The butterflies flittered from bloom to bloom of the other flowering plants. 43. Why was Jamie not interested in the stone? A says it was not to be observed. B, he was tired of Betty. C, the frog scared him. A, remember it says it was not to be observed that day, right? Jamie, say they quickly left it as they were not observing it that day. So that's a six-sided stone. So you have to go back to your passage if you're not remembering. Go back and see what it says about the six-sided stone. Which was to be observed on the trip? A says a rotten log. B says hopping birds. And C says different shaped stone. So you go back to your passage to see what they were looking for. All right? What were they looking for? What were they looking for? Alright, so based on what we're seeing, they weren't looking for stones, they weren't looking for rotten log, they were more so looking at hopping birds. What did Betty notice about the hibiscus? Alright, the hibiscus. Is it the caterpillars, the butterflies, or the blooms of the hibiscus? Go back and find hibiscus and see what it says. So she continued on her journey, staring at the flowering hibiscus. So for the hibiscus, she was looking at the blooms. If it's flowering, it's blooming. All right. 46. Where was the bird, or where were the birds? A says they were on the ferns. B, on the hibiscus. C, on the cocoa trees. So you go back and find where it speaks of the birds. All right. She didn't fail to take keen notice of the green caterpillar eating away at leaves on the banana plants, or the birds. So now you reach to the birds. Or the birds hopping from branch to branch of the cocoa tree. So let's go back. Where were the birds? On the cocoa tree. 47. Which best describes the trip? A says it was boring, B says exciting, and C scary. We know it was exciting. Seeing all kind of things, creatures to look at. Alright, the chart below shows the number and the different kinds of living things observed on a field trip. So you know you're going to do chart work, graphs. Use it to answer questions 48 to 52. So you have the names of the people. So we have Betty, Jamie, and Stacy. And you have flowers, birds, and insects. So Jamie would have got or looked at 8 flowers, 10 birds, 10 insects. So look at the chart in that way. I won't go through the other aspects with you for the other 2. Alright, so let's read again what it says. It says that it shows different kinds of living things observed. So we are showing you what each child or student observed. Betty observed 8 flowers, 10 birds, and 6 insects. So let's move on. Who observed the most living things? So this time you have to add them up. 10 plus 8 is 18, and 6 is 24. So Betty observed 24 living things. Jamie is 9 and 7. 9 and 8. Because I know it's 17. This is 7 in my mouth, you know. My brain runs so fast. 2 8s are 16 plus 1, 17. 17 and 5 is 22. So Jamie is 22. Stacy is 7 and 9, 16 and 7 is 23. So the person who observed the most is Betty. And I hope my addition is fast and accurate. Betty. Alright. Which living thing was least observed? Alright. So to get the living things, now you come down. You're doing the column this time, not the rows. So we went row. But to get the living thing, you're coming down column. So this is 3 8s because you're going to take 1 from this 9 to put on this to make it 8. So 3 8s are 24. So flowers were 24, birds now would be 10 and 2, 9s are 18, that is 28. You may be wondering where I get those numbers from. I'm just cutting cross, putting on others. You will add them up differently. 6, so this would be 3 6 is 18 because I took the 1 from the 7, put it on the 5, they all end up being 6. Alright, so the least observed were insects. Which living thing was the least observed? And that's insects. Alright. Which living thing did Betty and Stacy observe most? Betty and Stacy. So both of them observe birds most. So if you look at Betty, bird is her highest. Stacy, bird is also her highest. So both of them observed birds the most. 51. Who observed the most flowers? So you're looking on the flower. Most flower would be Jamie because he's 9, Betty is 8, Stacy is 7. So Jamie observed flowers the most, or most flowers. Jamie. Alright, 52. How many flowers and insects did Stacy observe together? Flower would be 8. So 8, insect and 6. 8 and 6 is 14. She observed 14. You will have to do your addition. Read this poem and then answer questions 53 to 57. I wish I could. I wish I could live in the country. I wish I could live at the sunset and not see a building standing tall. I wish I could listen to birds and not hear a car roar by. I wish I could look at the trees and not see a street light glaring down. I could do these things in the country. Alright? What does the poet wish to see? A says tall buildings and sunset. B says street lights and trees. And C says sunset and trees. Alright? So what does the poet want to see? I wish I could look at trees. We're seeing that's one of the things. I wish I could look at the trees. Alright? I wish I could look at the sunset. See? So sunset and trees. You have to go back to your thing to find your answers if you're not remembering upon reading once. Alright? Which word best describes how the poet is feeling? A says bored. B says happy. C says lady. Bored. You can see that this person is a town person, bored with town life. Alright? And wants to be in the country. Move on. Which sentence best explains how the person is feeling? He does not like where he is living. That's A. B says he likes being outdoors. And C says he enjoys making wishes. So, let's look. Go back to the poem. It's between A and B. But you want to have your good and best and perfect answer. Let me zoom in so I can see the whole thing. Remember, this thing comes on two sides. I wish I could live in the country. Alright? And not see a building standing tall. I wish I could listen to the birds and not hear a car roar by. I wish I could look at the trees and not see a street light glaring down. I wish I could do these things in the country. Alright, so what do you think? Which best explains how the person is feeling? He does not like where he lives. He likes being outdoors. He enjoys, no, he doesn't like where he lives. He wants to be in the country. 56. What does standing tall mean? A says being upright, B says being proud, and C says very high. So high, very high building. See? Let's go again. Go back to the poem. And not see a building standing tall. So very high building, being high. Alright. 57. Where does the person in the poem live? A says in the city, B says in the countryside, C says on the farm. We know it's in the city because the person wants to come in the country, which would be C, and that's not a farm, which would be B for coming to the country, and C says it's a farm. No, not no farm, no sir. Let's look at this one, which is taking us to the end. Some children need to go on a field trip to the park. It says study. I'm trying to zoom it out, but it's jumping away. All right. Study the map below, then answer questions 58 to 60 to help them find their way. So you have to look at the different streets. They want to go to the park on a field trip. So you have a gas station here. So here's a gas station. All right. Here you have West Street. You have a park here. You have East Street here. You have a bank, a library, and this is Broad Road. And you have a school right here, a church here, a supermarket here. Let me see what else is on it. And you have High Street right here, and you have Low Street. All right, so let's see the questions. How can they get to the park from the school? All right, so A says go on Broad Street, then East Street. So find the school and see where they need to go. So if they're coming from the school, they're gonna have to come on High Street. All right, the school is on High Street, so they're gonna Broad Street, and then from Broad Street they're in the park. So is it High Street, Broad Street? Let's see if we have any with High Street, Broad Street. Broad Street, then East. Let's see. Let's see. B says Broad Street, then High Street. It's High Street, then Broad Street, which is at C, not B. Because C, they come out on High Street, which is here. They come out here from the school. This is High Street, see it here. But they're not coming this way. Then they go this way to Broad Street, and the park is off Broad Street. All right. 59. What is opposite to the park? Opposite meaning on the other side of the park. On the other side of the park is the church. Or did you look at the police station down here? But there's a police station. So on the opposite side of the park, you have the church. Let's see. Church. All right. 60. On which street is the park? Where is the park? Is it on Broad Street, West Street, or East Street? Can't be on East Street. There's no entering to the park from there. Can't be on West Street. There's no way entering the park. It's got to be on Broad Street. It's off Broad Street. All right. So here, A is Broad Street. With that, guys, we've done a quick run through of the 2013 language arts paper. We've come to the end, and I want to thank you for watching. It's a very quick video because I just need to get it out to you. And you're watching Learning. I hope I'm spelling it right going this far. With Teacher M. All right. So thanks for watching. Share the video. Remember all the things we are going through. All right. And with love, MMM. Remember, we're looking at opposites. We're looking at parts of speech. You would see that you have poetry to look at. You have maps to read and analyze. You have graphs. You have a whole lot of stuff. So just go through all the papers, study your notes, listen to your teachers, and I'll see you in the next video.